Back here on Staples Center, breaking news from the NBA. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that Tom Thibodeau has been fired as president and head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Thibodeau, midway through his third season in Minneapolis. Timberwolves right now 19-21 on the season, despite 2 straight wins, including a win over the Lakers today. That would put them, though, 11th in the Western Conference, 2 games under 500. They lost in the first round of the playoffs last year. You take a look at his coaching career. Of course, he spent 5 years in Chicago prior to going to Minnesota for the past 2+ seasons. Win percentage in Chicago much better than he's been able to produce there in Minnesota. 5 playoff appearances with Chicago. Again, just 1 time with Minnesota. But you also had a lot of drama early this year with the Jimmy Butler situation before they moved him on to the Sixers. But again, I mentioned the Timberwolves have won 2 straight, including this game today over the Lakers in Minneapolis. Show you what happened, and it was a total team effort right from the very beginning. Good defense by the T-Wolves, leading to easy offense at the other end. Andrew Wiggins knocks down a 3 there. Then Karl Anthony Towns with the block. Jeff Teague, he settles for a 3, knocks it down. And then Teague here to Cat. Top of the key. Wiggins again. He had 25 of his 28 in the first half. T-Wolves led it 22-3. Largest lead by any team this season at the 6-minute mark. And Towns was not done. Feeds Andrew Wiggins there for the easy dunk. And then Towns just started to do it himself. And 1. Strongman move there. And then this one, JaVale McGee will not want to see this one again. Highlight coming. Cat with the punch. Can I get one more angle? Thank you very much, screening. Nice job. Cat getting up high. McGee not quite high enough. And then Wiggins off the miss, but check out Towns coming through with the poster. He had 28, 18, and 4. More on the story, though. Tom Thibodeau, no longer the coach in Minnesota. Excuse me. We continue to cover breaking news here from the NBA. Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that Tom Thibodeau has been fired as president and head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves. T-Wolves 19-21 after a 2nd straight win today. They would be 11th in the Western Conference right now. Of course, a lot of drama early in the season with Jimmy Butler and that whole saga before moving him off to Philadelphia. But again, Tom Thibodeau has been fired. Of course, Adrian Wojnarowski, as I mentioned, reporting this story. He joined us now here on SportsCenter. Woj, let me ask you this. Is based on the people you've talked to at this point, what led to this? It felt as if, from a fan standpoint, it kind of came out of the blue.
It did. I mean, the team had won a couple games here, but this has been some time in the making between Tom Thibodeau and ownership, Glenn Taylor. For now, Scott Layden will stay in as the general manager. Now, he reported to Tom Thibodeau. He was president and coach. But once the Jimmy Butler saga started to unravel, that was the beginning of the end for Tom Thibodeau in Minnesota. One name to watch, and I'm told is a favorite of ownership, former Bulls coach Fred Hoiberg, who has already replaced Tom Thibodeau once in Chicago. He has a history in Minnesota in the front office, and there's a possibility either a front office role or a head coaching role that Hoiberg is a candidate there. He's also a candidate at UCLA.
That would be very interesting considering the history you just mentioned with Hoiberg in Chicago. What do you think happens for the future of Tom Thibodeau now, Woj?
Well, listen, he has shown in a couple different jobs as a head coach here, difficulty with whether it's ownership, the business side. Listen, he is a talented basketball coach. He's a great basketball mind. He will work in the NBA, but you know, for him, he may have to go back to being an assistant coach again before he's a head coach again. But his record generally is outstanding among wins and losses. But in a league where partnership among the front office and the coaching staff is vital, his chance to get back in the league may be somewhat limited as a head coach right away.
You know, Woj, there's only 30 teams in the NBA, and every time there's a vacancy, it's a highly coveted job. But some jobs do rank above others. From a coaching standpoint, based on the roster of talent they have there now in Minnesota, how coveted would this job be there in Minnesota?
I think better than average, Michael. I think, Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, there's some young talent there. A lot will depend on, with this ownership, what does the management structure look like? Who's the general manager? But as you said, there's only 30 of these. And typically most of them are pretty coveted. They don't open up every day.
Adrian Wojnarowski joining us here on SportsCenter. Again, Tom Thibodeau has been fired as president and head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves. We'll continue to follow the story in SportsCenter, and also Woj dropping bombs, as always, on Twitter. Adrian, appreciate the time, brother. All right, well, the Wolves currently have a 7% chance to make the postseason, 22nd in the NBA. Again, their record right now, 19-11. They rank 20th in defensive efficiency, never living up to the defense that Thibodeau produced with the Bulls when they ended up going to Eastern Conference Finals when they had MVP Derrick Rose. All right, well, let's keep it in the NBA. The Clippers at home taking on the Magic. Mo Bamba. I mean, how cool is it, Zubin? You're young in the NBA and you've got a song named after you, Mo Bamba. It's like one of the biggest songs of 2018, maybe started 2019. All right, Zubin doesn't have that in his playlist. All right, so that was Bamba there with the the block at one end that led to the dunk at the other. You should Google it, Zubin. It's a really popular song.
I'm right on it.
Your nieces and nephews know it really well. Oh, how about Aaron Gordon? We know what he can do when he's got wide open space. Nice pass there from Nikola Vucevic. He finished with 16 points, 24 rebounds, 8 assists. Gordon finished with 17 points, by the way. Here, Lou Williams trying to pad the score for the Clippers' favor, finds Montrezl Harrell there for the dunk, and then Lou doing it himself. He had 17 off the bench. And how about Marcin Gortat showing off the big man passing skills? Little alley-oop to Tobias Harris. I mean, it wasn't a dunk. Tip-in will take it. Clippers win it easily, 106-96. Harris finishes with 28 and 9. Clippers 23 and 16 on the season. Out to the NBA, Lakers T-Wolves. LA playing without LeBron and also Kyle Kuzma in this game. Rondo's still out, but some stars are in the building. Evan Ingram, Saquon Barkley, and early on, there was something wrong somewhere with the Lakers D. Josh Hart, bad miss there. Jeff Teague to Andrew Wiggins for 3. Bottoms. Karl Anthony Towns, rejection there. Andrew Wiggins over to Teague. Open 3. And then Teague's like, you know what, let's get Cat some points in this one as well. That's a 3. And then later, Wiggy. 25 of Wiggins' 28 points came in the first half. T-Wolves led 22-3, largest lead by any team this season at the 6-minute mark.
Nice.
But then Towns was like, yo, how do you want it? He's just serving up points like Serena. There to Wiggins. And then Strong on his own and 1. And then here, JaVale, don't jump. Oh! Punch!
Nice pass.
By Cat over JaVale. We show you that one a few more times. Encore, I know you want more. But watch this one, though. When the big hustles to the rim, he usually gets rewarded, and that's over McGee as well. 28, 18, and 4 blocks for Cat. T-Wolves win it 108-86. LA falls to 1-5 without LeBron. Well, LA's other NBA team also in action. Clippers taking on Mo Bamba and the Magic at Staples Center. Gallinari driving. Oh, Mo Bamba's like, son, I got a song named after me. You ain't dunking on me in LA. That leads to that. How about that? Defense at one side leads to early offense at the other. Alley-oop dunk finish, all started by Bamba's defense. But then later, Nikola Vucevic, Aaron Gordon, he can finish. 16 points, 24 boards, 8 assists for Vucevic. Of course, played his college days there at USC. Gordon would finish with 17. Let's go to the fourth quarter. It's a 2-point game. Lou Williams driving to Montrezl Harrell. Finish. Give him a foul, too. So the Clippers would build that lead, and Williams trying to say, let's make a good thing keep happening here. He would finish with 17 off the bench. Clippers with an 11-point advantage. And then Marcin Gortat, meet me at the rim. It's going down. Tobias Harris with the tip in. He had 28 points, 9 boards. Clippers going to win it 106-96 at home.
All right, more Houston. James Harden's streak of consecutive 40-point games is 5. The Rockets' winning streak is 6. Houston on a run of 11 wins in 12 games. That started with a victory over the Trailblazers. They're up in Portland, dressed warm. Down 13 at the break, and Harden had just 9 in the first 24. Steps back, just the regular non-traveling violation. Step back for 3, and then in the corner, gets that one to go. We show you making some buckets. Let me just tell you, though, he was 13 of 35 on the night. Just 37% shooting, but he took 42% of his team's shots. And in the third quarter, it helped. 20 points, and he scored or assisted on 29 of the 31 points for the Rockets. But they trailed and couldn't quite get all the way back. Harden again makes that one. That's his 32nd point of the game. Later, Harden. A lot of James in this. Meanwhile, the other team is ahead. Misses in transition, Damian Lillard. We should give that up to Evan Turner. I should give that up to Evan Turner. I'm gonna give that up to Evan Turner. There you go. Got it just before he called for a 7-second violation. Might have been in there a while, but we get it. It's all right. And one. 106-95. Harden misses, but's fouled. Of course, goes to the line. He only shot 7 free throws. There we go. We got Turner pushing to P.J. Tucker, who goes in there. What it is James gets his points. He's up to 35, 10 straight game with 35 or more. 4th player in NBA history to do that, along with Wilt, Kobe, George. So he makes that. He was 5 of 17 from 3. Last 2 games, he's shot 43 pointers, 5 of 17 in this one. Here's at 38. 40 will not go. Clock runs out. So the winning streak ends for the Rockets. The scoring streak ends for James. Not that 38's terrible. 110-101 Blazer.
All right, John, Dubs and Kings. Last time out, Golden State allowed those Rockets to rally back from 20 down to win. Although in games after blowing 10-point leads under Steve Kerr, the Warriors seem to do pretty good. They seem to win a lot regardless. Steph hits the 3 from the wing, and then he was spicy in this one. The chef was 14 of 26. Speaking of spicy, how about Kevin Durant? Throwing it down with 2 hands. 13 made consecutive field goals. First time the Dubs have done that since March of 2016. Third quarter, Buddy Hield. Drano on that one. How about Hield going for 32 on 8 of 13 from behind the arc? Sacramento plays an exciting brand of ball. And then an interesting moment here in the fourth. Chef looks to drive, steps back, called for the travel. Steve Kerr's apoplectic. He's like, look, if you're going to give those calls to James Harden, you better give it to my guy. Although the officials were right. Look at Steph flashing the 1-3 in reference to James Harden, who, by the way, is known to get multiple steps on his. Then again, Steph's teammate KD may have been out of bounds the other night.
No, he was not. I'm
just saying, back to the game on Saturday night. Steph took 23s in this game. Made 10 of them. We talked about it. 83 76ers in the finals. Attempted 2 threes all series. Didn't make one. Curry goes for 42. The Warriors win 127-123.